Hey guys, Pro1701 here. Uh, we're here to review Survivors of the Flux. I have had a hard time trying to wrap my head around how to do this review because it's really hard to get this one organized in my mind because I liked the episode, but I hate some of the stuff in the episode, which should make me hate the episode, but I didn't hate the episode. I guess it's because it's doing so many different things that each thing feels like its own separate episode. This is definitely an action-packed episode. There's always stuff going on, stuff going on, stuff going on. It's kind of like watching The Rise of Skywalker. There's always something going on, to the point where you wonder if they're trying to keep you from noticing stuff. Let me start with what I like. I really like the stuff with Yaz, Dan, and Professor Jericho. I really enjoy their traveling around the world looking for artifact stuff. I loved those scenes. I really liked them together, and I think Kevin McNally, I believe is his name, the actor playing Jericho. I really like him. I think he's a great addition to the cast. He would make such a good companion. He's making such a good companion. He is officially a companion in my mind now. It took me a while to realize what I knew him from, and then it finally clicked in my head. He plays in Pirates of the Caribbean as Johnny Depp's kind of right-hand man, the competent pirate. He's the one really competent one. And I really enjoy him in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies as well, and he's really good in this. I just love him as Jericho, and I like all three of them together. I really enjoy all those scenes. Even the scene when Yaz is being kind of mopey watching the recording of the doctor, which is some backstory we needed anyway, so they know kind of what they need to be doing. The doctor kind of left something for them to do. Even if the doctor's just guessing at what they need to do. But it's nice seeing all that. I love when they go to the mountaintop and they see the one seer. That scene's actually really funny. You didn't even bring a newspaper? I'm just messing with you. I don't really get to tease people. It kind of feels out of place in the episode, but I love it. It just adds a little levity to the situation, you know. It gives it a nice, amusing moment. I actually really enjoy that scene. I love when the guy who's been digging all the tunnels just walks into the cabin. Oh, now we're on a cruise ship. Oh, great. And it just walks out. It's funny. And I like that it finally kind of ties him in. Because I get that, from what I understand, this guy was a real person. And that he really did dig these tunnels. And apparently nobody knew why. I mean, I haven't looked it up, but apparently nobody knew why. I'm guessing he was just an eccentric guy. So it's nice that they're taking, a real character. At least what I'm understanding is a real character and kind of using that as a backbone for the story. Kind of tying some actual events in. And kind of showing why maybe these tunnels got dug. It's really neat. I enjoyed that. I like the actor playing him as well. So that was probably my favorite part, is all of the stuff with Yaz and Jericho and Dan. I really enjoyed all of that. The stuff with the unit was interesting. I'm not sure how the Great Serpent got there. We didn't really get enough of his backstory in episode 3 other than he's kind of a prick. Apparently, I'm guessing he just wants to settle on this planet. Maybe with some of his people. Now, if their planet's gone, they want to take over Earth. Interesting using the bit to infiltrate unit like that. I did love the little nods when they're in 1967, like when you actually hear Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart, who's not quite the brigadier yet. You hear him off screen making that call to the RAF. That was a nice little touch. Although I don't think he's supposed to be a corporal at the time. You know, I mean, granted, the unit dating system is already kind of out of whack, but it looks like they kind of threw it more out of whack with that. But at that point, Jim just might have been having some fun with it and saying, since we don't really know anyway, why not just poke a little fun at that and just make it more... Or maybe they actually meant to say colonel, because he's supposed to be a colonel right now, I believe, if we go by the invasion. And maybe they were meant to say, he's like, yeah, colonel we have in, and maybe they just accidentally said corporal by mistake, colonel, corporal... Similar words, very possible. Either way, I enjoyed the little scene and the nod to the brigadier there. And I also like how it mentions, we wanted to make sure we had something said, after the event down at the post office towers, which of course is a wonderful reference to the War Machines, because the War Machines takes place in 1966, just a year before that. So it's a nice little nod to the first Doctor, and knowing that possibly something involving the first Doctor helped directly lead to Unit getting designed. That's pretty neat. I like that. I like how that kind of ties in. The interesting way that he kills people with the snake is really weird, especially the first time I see it. Also, the snake does not look very real. Maybe that's to keep it kid-friendly. Maybe it's because I wouldn't want to see it like a real snake coming out. But it does look very CGI. But again, there's so much of the budget going into other stuff. Maybe they purposely wanted it to look a little CGI so it's not too scary. I felt bad for when he killed the guy in like 87 and the guy's like, "You will get the position over my dead body." And I'm sitting there going, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that." You shouldn't have said that. I don't ever say that to anybody in real life. You'll da-da-da-da over my dead body. I feel like that's tempting fate. I never say that. So when he gets in the car, I actually like when you first see him in the car and he's coughing and then you see his hand on the window as the car's kind of rattling. I thought that was really subtle, but then the camera panned to the snake coming out of his mouth too, and it kind of ruined it. Because we'd already seen it happen to the first guy, so we knew what was happening. I liked how it just looked like we were going to see it without seeing it with the hand on the window and the hand sliding down. That would have been a great way to cut that shot. Because we knew what was happening. You didn't have to show it. Sometimes it's more effective when you don't just flat out show it. So when the camera panned to it, the snake coming out of his mouth, I'm like, yes, I know. I saw that already. I'm onto that trick. I wish they just left it with his hand kind of, I don't know. It just seemed more effective. I like that they brought Kate back, because I like Kate Stewart. I think she was more effective in her earlier episodes. I don't like that she's now just kind of always talking about her dad. I love the Brigadier, but I really want Kate to be her own character. I don't want her just always, my dad was amazing and I loved him and I'm his daughter. Kind of like happened with her later on. Even in one of her new radio audio plays, it mentions, you know, it has it in the trailer. You know, I guess it just runs in the family, and it cuts between her and a picture of the Brigadier behind her. I'm like, yes, you're the Brigadier's daughter. We know. I feel like, you know, Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister. Yes, we know who you are. That's how I feel. I'm Kate Stewart, the Brigadier's daughter. Yes, I know who you are. But I am glad to see her back. I think Gemma does a really good job playing her. I don't quite understand why she had to go dark. Why didn't she just instead of calling Osgood, she should have called the Doctor in 2017 when that happened. Crap, somebody just tried to kill me. It's that great serpent guy. You know, the guy I just threatened him. I could call somebody to come stop him. Beep, 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 beep. Doctor, I need your Scottish butt over here right now. You're blonde now. Well, get over here right now. You know, she had threatened to call the Doctor when she confronted the great serpent. She should have called that. Why did that not happen? Plot convenience. It makes no sense for her not to have tried to get a hold of the Doctor when she's already said she could just call the Doctor. Makes no sense. But it has to happen that way because of plot. But I am looking forward to seeing her back in the next episode. The Vinder and Bell stuff, I still don't care. I don't care. I don't find them interesting. I thought the parts where Bell's ship was hijacked and she met the dog guy, I found that interesting. I will admit, I actually enjoyed those things. I'm not saying they were great, but I enjoyed them. It was interesting. The stuff with Vinder on the planet, didn't care. Didn't care. Oh, he's in passenger now. All right, whatever. Didn't care. And then there's the stuff with the Doctor. Let me say I really enjoyed Jodie Whittaker's acting in this episode. I really felt she was giving it her all. I was quite impressed with her acting ability in this episode and the things she did, the things she said, and how she did them. I think she did a good job. I liked the woman playing, spoiler alert, Tech Dayun. The actress playing her, Barbara Flynn, I believe is her name. I think she's a good actress. This is all I really know her from, but I liked her acting here. That being said, the actual stuff going on, I hated it. Adamantly hated it. It's like Chris Chibnall. I've always said in Flux, Chris Chibnall's going to double down on the Timeless Children stuff. It's not going to go away. It's not going to get retconned. It's not going to get ignored. He's doubling down on it, and we got it right here. He tripled down on it. You know, a lot of people still had hope that when the Master showed her all the Timeless Children stuff in the Timeless Children, the Timeless Child stuff, that he might have been lying, that he might have made it up. People still had that hope in their mind. Well, in my head canon, the Master's just lying. Chibnall was like seeing all this stuff online and said, yeah, okay, I'm going to plug that hole right here. So he literally puts it in there. Was the master lying? Was the master telling the truth? Yes. And I can't be the only person to feel this way. I'm pretty sure most classic Who fans feel this way. Although I guess I shouldn't speak for the fandom. I'm sure there's some people who are enjoying it, even from the old guard, so to speak. Because I don't like the Timeless Children thing. I don't like the Doctor having an origin story. I didn't like the Cartmel Master Plan. I don't, because I don't need to know that. It's like, just like I don't need an origin story for Michael Myers. I don't need to know why Michael Myers is the way he is. Not knowing is part of the reason why Michael Myers is a fascinating character. Same thing with Jason. How is Jason still, Jason, even though he drowned as a kid, and he drowned as a kid, how is he big hulking bully? I don't know, and I don't need to know. That's fine. It's the same thing with the Doctor. I don't need to know what makes the Doctor the Doctor. I just know that the Doctor is the Doctor, and sometimes that's all I really need to know. So I never liked the idea of this. I wasn't even against the idea of pre-Hartnell Doctors. I wasn't against that idea. I was wholly in favor of, if they do pre-Hartnell Doctors, it needs to make sense, which it doesn't. I'm still trying to figure out how Ruth's TARDIS looks like a police box. Like, seriously, this is the reason why everybody was figuring she was like a Season 6B Doctor. Makes way more sense for her to be a Season 6B Doctor between 2 and 3. Her TARDIS shouldn't look like a police box. That is wrong. The very first time the chameleon serpent broke that we know of is in an unearthly child. Because Hartnell sits there, when they go to the cavemen time, he's like, why is it still a police box? Because he's not used to it still being a police box. That just happened. Also, the Doctor chose the name The Doctor when he was Hartnell. We know that, because he talks about why he picked that name. So why is pre-Hartnell Doctors also called The Doctor? It's like she chose the name, had all of her memories erased, or he chose the name, had all of his memories erased, and then just happened to choose the name again? Doesn't make any sense. I would have believed it more if the pre-Hartnell Doctors, like the fugitive Doctors, had been called something else. I'm not even saying their real name, just something besides The Doctor. I don't understand how she's the Doctor. All the memory's gone, and then Hartnell's just like, Doctor, got a good ring to it. Yeah, some reason it rings a bell. So there's so many holes here. It's like a block of Swiss cheese sometimes. Yeah, I did not like... And again, I like both of the actors there. I like Jodie's acting. I like Barbara's acting. It's just what's being done I don't like. And I feel like it's being done just out of spite at this point. Just to piss people off. The whole thing with her memories... As soon as I saw the watch, I knew. I saw the watch and I was like, oh no. Because I don't want the Doctor getting her memories back. She doesn't need them. There's no reason, unless they are just really trying to go this whole diversity route by saying, no, the Doctor's always been diverse. It's not just Jodie Whittaker is not the first woman Doctor. We're going to show you 100 others before that. But I just, Doctor Who's always been about pushing boundaries. So you don't have to go this route of just chiseling away at Doctor Who's past the way Chibs is doing here and reshaping it to, what you think it should be to get that point across. There's better ways to do that. So I didn't like all of that. I really didn't like seeing the watch. I really don't like the tease with the watch. I don't want her to get her memories back. It seems so counterproductive. And there's no other reason to do it unless there's just something you're trying to push that I think a lot of Doctor Who fans just don't want. It's very frustrating. And then I don't understand Take Dayoon. I don't even like Take Dayoon. I feel like if this had been done 6 or 7 years ago, they would have just used Rassilon. They didn't want to use Rassilon because Rassilon is a man. They wanted it to be a woman, even though Time Lords can regenerate to either gender, so I don't know why they just didn't have it as a female version of Rassilon. They should have just used Rassilon, because Rassilon's always been kind of the be-all, end-all of Time Lords, basically. But no, we can't have Rassilon, male Rassilon, no. So that's what I'm going to call Tech Day Unit from now on. From now on, she is female Rassilon. That's just her new nickname. So they bring in female Rassilon, who is naturally a female again at this point. Who's the person who's really behind the throne. Rassilon, that little puppet. Yeah, the way she did the doctor like that, yeah. That's pretty much what Chibnall was doing to Rassilon. Yeah. Unimportant now. So, we have female Rassilon now. I don't understand how she got killed off so easily. If she's supposed to be this powerful, all-knowing, I would feel like she shouldn't die that way. Maybe she's not dead. Maybe she actually got away. Just the fact she would let Swarm, dust her, so to speak, just seems... I don't know, it seems too easy. We just learn about this character, get a little depth about this character, and then they're gone like that. Seems kind of a waste. Also, how did Swarm and Azure find this place? Like, I don't get that. That's plot convenience. Plot convenience. They happen to know this one place was right here between universes in this exact location. They managed to find it by accumulating the Time Force, whatever the frick that is. I don't know what the Time Force is. We're just inventing new terms now. We have the Time Force. It sounds like a corny 80s sci-fi show. Time Force. And they managed to find this one spot because they just happened to know where it was. Plot convenience. And I still don't get what's up with them. I really do want to find out exactly who Swarm and Azure is so we can find out some more about them. I'm hoping that'll get revealed in the final episode. I do not think all of this is going to resolve in the final episode. I think there's too much going on. I have been saying since my Halloween Apocalypse review that I don't think Flux is going to end, or all the things going on in Flux are going to end with episode 6. I don't. I think this is going to carry over into her specials. Because my understanding about Series 13 was originally supposed to be 8 episodes. 8 episodes. I think what they did was when they decided Whitaker was leaving and Chibs was leaving, because that whole BS about they agreed to 3 years, right at the get-go, I think it's just BS. I have a feeling people just want them out the door because look what the show's become. So I think they were kind of told, hey, we want you to go. So I think they took that 8 episodes, and they cut off the last 2 and decided to make those 2 specials. And then they made one more special to be her exit story. That's what I believe. So the 8-episode season became 6 episodes. The last 2 episodes become the first 2 specials of next year. The first one we'll get on New Year's Day. And then they did one more special to be her swan song. That's what I think happened. Because I remember when Series 13 was supposed to be 8 episodes. So I think all of this is going to carry over at least into the next 2 specials. Because I do feel like those are supposed to be the final parts of Flux. There's definitely too much going on to resolve here. Also, the thing that is just making me grind my teeth is all of these nitwit Doctor Who fans who are losing their collective shit over Doctor Who introducing the multiverse. The Doctor Who multiverse has been around since at least 1970 with one of the best episodes of Doctor Who ever made. It's called Inferno. It starred a guy named John Pertwee. Some of the Doctor Who fans watching this might not be familiar with that name. He played the Doctor, the 3rd Doctor, the one exiled to Earth during one of the best era of the show's history. In Inferno, one of my personal favorite stories of all time, actually introduced, to my opinion, to my knowledge, this is the first one to really introduce multiverses, because the Doctor goes to a parallel universe. He goes to a parallel Earth. As he says in the story, I didn't go back in time or forward in time. I slipped sideways. It slipped me sideways in time. He went to a parallel Earth that's also Earth, but a different version of Earth. It's kind of imagine kind of if, like, Germany had won World War II Earth, or a very Orwellian Earth. It's very that. It's still got the same people in that Earth, but they're drastically different. Like, the Brigadier is now the brigade leader. Liz Shaw is now more militant, just as Benton is as well. and you have very similar events happening in both of these Earths. So the Doctor has been to parallel Earths many times before this. This episode is not introducing a multiverse. Anyone who thinks it is, you may turn in your Doctor Who fandom card. Because we already know this. Even if you don't watch Classic Who, because I get there are a lot of people, they like modern Who, for whatever reason they can't get into Classic Who. And that's fine. I get Classic Who's not for some people. I'm not judging you if you like modern Who and don't like Classic Who. That's fair. But even if you're just a modern Who fan, in modern Who, the Doctor has been to parallel Earths. The Cybermen two-parter from Season 2, The Age of Steel two-parter. That reintroduced the Cybermen and introduced them for the first time in modern Who. They go to a parallel Earth in another universe. So even in the modern series, parallel Earths have been firmly established. The multiverse has been firmly established in Doctor Who, even in the modern series. So this should not be coming as any collective to anyone who has seen the show. Every time I see articles, and I've seen some of them, where they're like, Doctor Who introduces the multiverse, I'm like, are you stupid? Don't get me wrong, I've seen many a stupid Doctor Who article in my day. Screen Rant loves the things. But Doctor Who's multiverse has been around for over 50 years. This is nothing new. Nothing new, except for perhaps they might exploit this in some way moving forward. Who knows? Maybe they're setting up something massive for Russell T Davies when he takes over. I don't know. I've seen some fan theories, but I don't know. Oh, man, I've really gotten off in a tangent. Again, this is a hard episode to review. There's so much going on. It's like 3 separate episodes all rolled into one. Some things I love, some things I don't. So it's really hard to review. Overall, I enjoyed the episode. Honestly enough, believe it or not, I actually enjoyed the episode. When I got done watching it, I had liked it. It's mainly the stuff with Whittaker and female Rassilon that I just hated. Absolutely hated. I didn't like it confirming the Timeless Children. I didn't like Chibnall tripling down on that. But everything with the companions I loved. I would love to see a spin-off series with just Yaz, Dan, and Jericho. I would watch that. And I'm not a big fan of Doctor Who spin-offs, to be honest. But I would absolutely love to watch that, because that just seemed like a fun thing to watch with them on their adventures. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the survivors of the Flux. They're kind of all over the place. So what did you think of the episode, and how do you think Flux is going to turn out? So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you like what I do and would like to contribute to what I do. There is a link to that down in the description below where you get access to bonus videos and stuff like that I do, polls to vote in, etc., etc. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.